Hey, welcome back to Leading in AI by Agentic Edge. I'm Jericho, and on this show, I get to talk to some of the most interesting people working in the AI space. My guest this week is Jaume Portell, founder and CEO of PageMind. Jaume has over 16 years of experience as CEO and has held CTO roles at Exoticca and eDreams. With a background in computer science from UPC and an MBA from ESADE, Jaume has been building technology products that makes digital experiences more intuitive and human for nearly 3 decades. So Jaume, really glad to have you here.
Thank you very much, Jacob.
Thank you very much, Jaume. So let's start first with a question about your journey. You started as a system administrator at eDreams, grew to director of engineering, then co-founded Beabloo and run it for 14 years until acquisition by Indra. How did you make this leap from leading engineering team to building your own startup? And what did you learn in those early years?
Yeah, well, what I learned is that I love it. That's for sure what I learned. No, actually, I consider myself a builder. I always love to solve real life problems with technology. That's I'm super passionate about technology. I started computer science with three flavors. One was software engineering, and the other one was business, and the third one was artificial intelligence. No, so we called it expert systems at that time, but it was machine learning and this type of tricks. No, and I've always been in that area. We did. Many interesting things at eDreams when I joined, and later when I co-founded Beabloo, we did a lot of AI based on locating people, how they move in the physical world, and what they do, and how that correlates to the sales and what works and what doesn't work in the physical retail spaces. And later at Exoticca as well, a lot of AI to predict prices, to do very creative stuff, creating content already with LLMs, and now at PageMind. Uh, I talk more with AI, 24 hours than I talk to people actually. So I really enjoy a lot. I've been, always a little bit, you know, in the business area, a little bit in the technical area. So it's not that different to be a CTO than a CEO when you love understanding the business, when you enjoy getting your hands dirty with building product and getting in touch with customers. No, so at the end, it's I always enjoyed this mix of things, and even if it's not your 100% responsibility, you try to help the business. Or when you're the CEO, you don't get that far from the product itself. No, so it's been always a kind of a good mix of those different areas. No?
Nice, nice. So you work at both at eDreams and Exotica, and now you decided to go back to founding with PageMind. What made you decide to start again from scratch? And what's the different about how you approach funding a company now than before?
Well, it's an amazing time for builders. I would say it's AI has already revolutionized and disrupted completely many sectors, but the software world is upside down with the arrival of AI and Cloud Code and Codex now, and it's impressive what you can build by yourself. So I've been 1 year. I fall in love with an idea. I've been my whole life very much related to e-commerce sites and the internet of the site of selling on internet and getting your products and your services around the world with technology. And um, and I always understood and saw, I realized that the complexity of the process of communicating what you sell to your world. Basically because products and services usually don't perfectly talk the language of the customers that meet them. So you can easily do a test. No, you go to a website where they sell running shoes, and you see how they explain the technology, and you'll see a lot of buzzwords, Trimax Plus, and then uh, cool names of the product and the technologies they use, but you don't exactly get if that's going to be comfortable for you to run 10 miles this weekend, right? And considering that you're starting to run now and that your weight might be, maybe my weight is, 90 kilos, no? So I might need a special type of cushioning, but I have no idea how that translates to the words that the companies are using to explain their technologies, no? And I realized when I was at eDreams, when we were trying to sell flights, and I realized the same when I was at Exoticca trying to sell uh, mm, packages, that talking the language of the customer is difficult. It's difficult because you have to research a lot, then you have to adapt your products and explain your product in their own words, and answering their questions, but it's there's many steps in the process of doing that. And at PageMind, what we did was to create this engine that basically does five things. One is it learns deeply how customers express their needs in a certain sector. Running shoes, for instance, we do a deep research on internet on how customers discuss uh, what what they want from running shoes, the perceived benefits, who the different profiles of the customers are, how they do the research, where they talk about it, which forums do they read on, which Reddit threads are more active on that, which are the questions that they're asking there, which are the answers. And then we study the technologies of the sector, we study the catalogs of our customers, and then we start getting really deep into the understanding of that sector, that technology. And then we go ahead and create all the answers to those questions by writing in the language of our customers, or the customers of that sector, and on their catalogs. No, and suddenly what happens is that AI surfaces like ChatGPT or Gemini or Perplexity or Claude find those pages much more interesting because they actually answer the questions they are being asked on a daily basis. So we connect the demand with the offer, and with that translates to is into much more relevant content for the customers, more organic traffic, and more value for our customers. No, so what we try to do with PageMind is automate this flow instead of building, one of the elements of the equation. We try to build the whole system. So we have the agents that understand the catalog, the agents that understand the demand, the agents that answer the demand in the catalog, and finally the systems that measure the impact in Google, in compute the search of share of voice, etc. Hey,
Perfect. Thank you, Jaume. So you mentioned that you are using also different agents though for that, for this customer needs research, right? How do you how do you build how did you build it, and how detailed is the type of research that the different agents does?
yeah, we believe a lot on the power of AI, but with guardrails. No, so each agent does a very narrow field of actions. Some agents are studying the catalog, product by product. Others do research of the categories. Others do research of competitors. Others are specialized on crawling and parsing the pages on a search result page. So they do score which are the pages that are more relevant for a certain searches. So let's say it's a group of more than 30 agents that are doing specialized work and collaborating with each other, talking to each other, asking others help. So when we analyze the analytics, the web analytics of a website, and we see that there's a conversion drop of a given category, for instance, we make different types of questions to different agents that can help. No, some of them check if there's a technical issue at the page. So they analyze friction for the customer by looking at data from the page itself. Others take the same category and research Google to see if suddenly someone is running a strong campaign based on price or something that might be stealing traffic and conversion from them. No, others are analyzing if the spread of prices or spread of product varieties in that page is good enough to capture the latest trends in the market. So we do different. Each of those agents tries to deliver different answers to the same question, and then we combine it with AI, and then we decide, okay, this seems to be the reason. We are 20% above in price than our competitor, and then obviously human in the loop. Someone will decide if that requires a change in something, no? But we make them collaborate, which is very useful, and they help each other to create value.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jaume. And how was like the process of building these agents, right? Like you said, you built like 30 plus agents. How was like the first agent? Like, how did you structure before building? Like, what type of agents are interesting in the business that you are attacking right now?
Yeah, well, one of the good things of having been in e-commerce for a while is that you're more or less aware about the different elements. No, so understanding the demand was a must. Being able to understand deeply the products was another element of it. Making it seamless so that you could deploy a pixel in a website, and that pixel would learn all the products by itself, or do it from outside and crawl the websites to learn their content. All those needs were kind of clear to deliver on the mission of PageMind, that was understanding what they sell, understanding the competition, and then writing about it to improve their reach and ease the understanding of what they sell to everyone outside there. No? So the process was step by step, but it's like you iterate. First, is it technically possible with AI to do this? So building quickly prototypes to see if they would be able to do it. Then using this a lot of discovery process, validating that yes, technology can answer this. Then talking to customers, yes, it seems to be relevant for the customers. Doing market research, yes, it seems to be somewhere where someone would put money in, to because it's a problem, a painful problem for them. Then understanding the competition, understanding how they operate and what they propose. The decision, there are many excellent companies out there doing parts of this problem. No, some of them do research of the demand. Some of them do catalog curation. Others do search tools or chatbot tools. We decided to build a system that would deliver on every single aspect of it, so that we could funnel the value creation from the beginning to the end, so that it could improve any website end to end by itself without much human intervention, because that is where many projects, many improvement projects get stuck. It's usually because marketing teams don't talk to technical teams, or technical teams don't understand very well the business side of it, and so at the end, it's stopping every single meter, and it costs a lot to get things flowing. No, and PageMind is designed to approach the problem, to remove completely the friction. No? So we connect to a Shopify website. We understand what they sell. We classify it by categories. You understand if they sell running shoes, or they sell bicycles, or they sell whatever kitchen stuff, and then we do and go research on it, and by ourselves we end up improving those pages and measuring the impact with their Google Analytics, or their analytics tool, and we end up being able to add a button of a chatbot in their website, and suddenly you ask things about your products in that chatbot, and you're super surprised that now your website knows all those things about your own products that you didn't know. And it's actually based on data, and it's based on science, it's based on articles that are coming from curated sources. No, so and all that happened, and by itself, because you just press a button and add a plugin in your Shopify website. No, and this is the frictionless that we need. We and obviously, since we're measuring the impact, we can improve. No, so this virtuous circle, where in each step you're learning and improving the next step, but you did by yourself. Obviously, human in the loop is very important. So the owner of that website can intervene, can add value, can guide the agents, but they can work seamless too, which means that doesn't matter how much you know about technology, it will flow. No, so and that was our dream. Oh, that we would be able to deliver on that context.
Nice. Yeah, that was actually one of the things I wanted to ask. Like, in order to have this seamless end-to-end no connection in the whole value chain, you mentioned that there should be a component of human in the loop in these processes. When is human needed to handle these agents, and whether do you think that there would be a time that no humans would be needed in these processes?
Well, I think humans are needed in the process, and will be needed in the process, because they will be the only ones that we will be able to blame if something goes wrong, right? So that's basically, that will be our purpose, will be to get blamed by things that don't work well. No, but so they have a very important role in this process. Is they decide what's being sold on their websites. You can help them understanding how how is the demand shape, what they want. You can share with them the initial writing you do about their categories or their products, and tell them, those are different ways of improving your page. Which one do you prefer? um, this, do you like this tone more? Do you like this other one? Do you want to be talking about competitors or not? Do you want to mention prices or not? I mean, you can interact with them to personalize in their own way, the way that the system behaves. But what you're trying to do is to reflect what their customers want, or their potential customers want, because that's what you've been studying. So you bring that on the table, and then you propose content and they decide, yes, this is more me. This sounds like me, and this is what I want to do. So you keep asking till there's a button, and don't ask anymore. I'm fine. Go ahead. Every new product, every new opportunity, keep improving my pages. No, so there's a button where you say, okay, I don't need to intervene because I'm happy with the automatic outcome that's being generated, and then the system works by itself. Uh, there's another area where that's super interesting is we do a deep exploration of the semantic value of the products and the categories. And then obviously we hit the limits at some point. Is we have questions that your customers would have about the products, and it's not written anywhere. So what we do is we go ask the expert. So we have this agent that turns to you as a owner of that store and asks you what's the difference between A and B, and why is A better than B, and you answer that in a recorded interview like this one, so that the agent can extract the transcription, can extract the answers, can help you editing a video so that you can add it into your pages if you want. And then with that transcription, we have the citations that are super relevant for LLMs or humans that say that A is better than B because of that. No, so we automatically keep you in the loop of creating more value for your business. No, but before doing that interview, we might tell you, do you know that there's $10,000 of value in your market, $400,000 of market of value traffic on a monthly basis if you answer this question. So according to Google, there's this 1 million searches about this every month in your markets, and each of them is worth $1. So that's worth $1 million a month. If we answer these questions, we might be able to attract this organically. No, so we explain you as a business owner that expanding the semantic content of your value proposition might attract a relevant number of traffic to your website, but we help you understanding why. And then you decide if you want to answer that question or not, and if it's for you or not or whatever. But we are putting you in where you can create value. We can explain you that the competitors are dropping this price 20%, and then you decide what you want to do. But we talk to you. We make you even more aware about what's going on, so you are more in control of what happens to your business on a daily basis. No, so that's our approach, and that is how we want to uh, make these agents work. I mean, they are at the service of the owners of the website, of the business, and they are central. Humans are central to the value creation. Those agents are there to serve your customers, which are humans, and to serve you as a business owner, because you're the one to blame if um, that category didn't sell at the end of the month, right? So we're gonna try to help you, but it's a process where you're super central, and you will keep being central.
Mhm. Nice, nice. And how was getting the first clients? Like, did you do for pilots with clients first? So because maybe they don't know anything about agents, how was the first clients have been?
Yeah, well, it's that was interesting because we talked to several agencies, marketing agencies, and many of them said, "Oh, this is something very interesting for my customers." It was reception was very positive, and then we also when ChatGPT started to introduce the instant checkout, so introducing the possibility of purchasing directly without exiting the chat interface, I talked to some friends and asked them, "Do you know a retailer that would be very interested in that?" And I was introduced to Trading. Trading is one of the largest e-commerce sites in Spain, I think they sell around north half a billion, so
to
north
the
of 500.
the poor village.
Uh, no, not the per
That was
village.
in the poor
It's
village.
no. Trading is I think they might be larger than the per village. I don't know the per village numbers, but it's 500 million plus a year, and they are growing massively. So and yeah, they were super interested about this. So they've been our design partners, and we've been able to deliver 2 digits growth for them in the products where we've been generating content and creating value, and there's a very good relationship right now. We work together on a daily basis to keep developing functionalities, keep expanding the capabilities of the system to go beyond, and it's a luxury, honestly, to work with your customers that closely. No, you learn a lot, and you can improve the systems, very quickly. No.
Nice, nice. And now on a more personal level, how do you use AI on your personal level? I guess you have different agents for yourself and doing things.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah, yeah. No, actually, we are only 2 people at PageMind right now. And one of them, Pau, joined not even 1 month ago. Um, but we are both working a lot with agents to do software development. We have more than 1 million lines of code already in our code base. Mostly means maybe 97% of it was written by Cloud Code. Uh, okay, we are both computer scientists. We love software. We've been product managers for years. So can kind of we know how to guide them to do nice things, but we use them for everything. We use them for helping us answering customers, to manage our leads, our CRM, to do the invoice reconciliation, to generate invoices, to create reports, to define a PRD. No, what's the new functionality we want to build? So we discuss everything with them. And we have this operating system that where we have architects, we have database experts, we have DevOps, all sorts of agents that are monitoring our platform and creating value from there automatically. And they talk to each other and they talk to us. It's like PageMind, no? And but they are helping us to build PageMind. They are not helping us to build product catalogs. They are helping us to build a business, no? And it's fun. That probably the way I used AI in a slightly different perspective is, and I really enjoy it so much, is when I have this idea that's working on my brain, and I start implementing it, and ask the agents to work on it, and we start creating this prototype. One of the things I do is I write this essay or PRD where I explain the business out value and how it should work and all that stuff, and then I take it and upload it into Notebook LM, and I ask Notebook LM to criticize it a lot. And I create these podcasts with Notebook LM, where 2 hosts discuss critically that idea. And then I take it with me, I put it in my earphones, and I go to have a run. And while I'm running, I'm listening how 2 guests in a podcast like this one are smashing my ideas in many different ways. But you cannot imagine how much that excite your brain to keep improving, and to see angles that you didn't see before. So I use it a lot to learn stuff. Sometimes that podcast is not about destroying one of my ideas or whatever. It sometimes is to go deeper. Sometimes is to learn areas that I didn't know before. So I use it for different things, and but I really enjoy this format, no, where you are listening to a podcast that was created for you to help you understanding something, to help you seeing angles that you didn't consider. And I enjoy it a lot. No, and that's pure AI. No, it's super customized, so it's so relevant. You cannot stop thinking. I stop listening for a second because it's actually super relevant to you. It's your thing, no? And they are talking about your thing, and it's private, and you don't need that to get out anywhere. But it's very useful to help you keep building, no? And I enjoy that part a lot.
Nice. That's a very unique way to use AI. I've never done that, but I discussed with Claude or with ChatGPT my ideas, but not in that very unique way to do so. No.
I'll try it. It's cool. I really think it's an interesting way of reflecting because you're somehow outside, no? So they are talking about your stuff, and they know very well because you explain them all. But they bring a perspective, so it's interesting to see how that happens, and it's free in a way, no? So that what I'm really looking for though is when AI will be able to do all things, and I'm so looking forward to see the last part of AI is when AI will take care of the government of countries, and suddenly many of the stupid things that have been happening for years will stop happening because they don't make any
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We get efficient government finally focusing on what matters when it matters, and using the money for people and the people needs, not for other things. So I'm so looking forward to that time when the AI will take care of that. I learned that that's the last step in the process of AI evolution, right? So it's the government. But I hope I am alive when that happens because I'm really looking forward to that.
Actually, that was my last question about where do you think AI will surprise people the most in ways they're not even thinking about yet. So I guess that's a good answer already. Like I've never thought about how AI can replace governments and public administrations. I think that there could be a point where AI will be able to manage all things related to deciding policies, implementing these deciding and implementing these policies using only different agents who are experts in their field. Like I imagine maybe an agent expert in finance, another one expert in agriculture, for example. So I
Yeah,
guess that's your answer for this question.
totally, and make a useful. I mean, when I have talks with my agents about how could we better use the models to this or that. They're kind of conscious of the cost of things, and they think on ways of optimizing the processes, and the conversations are very natural. That I tend to imagine that at some point this could be very similar to the budget of a country or of a city, no? And how are we going to use the 5 million, 100 million, 1 billion that we have as a budget to better serve our citizens, no, for today, for tomorrow, etc. And I think that will be very interesting because right now it's clearly not working very well. I mean, there's goodwill, some good people trying to make it work, but I think it's gonna be much better scenario, and we need to of course control the AI, but I think we as a humans will be better served if the governments are assisted by, I mean, human in the loop, no,
Always.
responsibility should be always, but we need we need better policies and better explain and more transparency and better decisions, faster decisions sometimes too will help. No.
Yeah, perfect. Jaume, thank you so much for your time for the podcast. It was very interesting discussing with you about PageMind and all things related to AI. So thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure, Zerico. Whenever you want,